this plugin is kind of cheating, but it's really cheating in two main ways. There's the 101 way, which is what the plugin's actually doing, but then there's the 201 version of this, which actually helps you produce better. And I will get to that towards the end of this video. But if you're not aware of what this is Ozone Standard. And there's tons of other plugins that do something very similar to this, but this is a match EQ. And this is just one thing that Ozone has. But what you can do is you can find the frequency curve of your reference track of another song that's already out, and you can apply that same curve to your song. So Doom: The Dark Ages just came out. Fantastic video game. Absolutely loving playing it. But there's a fantastic soundtrack with that game. And Finishing Move is the ones that did it, and I was really obsessed with their soundtrack, and I wanted to create something similar. So this is Finishing Move's soundtrack, and it sounds like this. Sounds fantastic, right? And then I decided to make something similar, and so this is what mine sounds like. So you can see it's close. I'm in the same genre, and I have like maybe some similar layers, but there's some different stuff that's in the reference track that's not in mine. Specifically on the EQ side of things, there's a lot of that like low mids that I have, and I'm lacking a lot of high end. Even though I do have a high end element that comes in here, it's still darker than that. That's significantly brighter. And so what I was able to do is I was able to open Ozone 11, and I was able to capture the curve of my reference and then apply it to mine. And so you can see that this white curve here is what it's the EQ curve that's applying to my song. We can smooth it out here with the smoothing tools, and we can also change the amount that it's applied to. So nothing all the way to an extreme amount. I have it pretty high at like 81, right around 83, something like that. And so now let's listen to the difference before and after. So this is what it sounds like with this off. On. And it's significantly closer. So let's switch between the two of these with the plugin on, and then I'll switch between the two of these with the plugin off. So this is what it sounds like with the plugin on. This would be their track here, and then this one up here would be mine. I'll turn it off. Significantly better. So that's the one-on-one version of this, which is you can basically capture somebody else's reference or somebody else's song, use it as a reference for yours, and apply that same frequency curve. But here's the 201 level of this, and this is where the plugin really becomes powerful, and most people miss out on this. This plugin shows you where your problems are at. So just by looking at this curve, you guys can immediately see where my problems are at. It's cutting a massive amount right around 250 hertz. 220, 250 hertz right around in there. There's this massive cut that it has. Another cut up here around like 550 to 600. And then also there's this massive boost up here, which just doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense that there's this massive boost up here. Why in the world is it actually applying the EQ curve? The 101 version of this is it applies the EQ curve, you can get closer. But the 201 version of this is the fact that it shows you what your song is lacking. And sometimes you actually need to fix this in the producing side of things. So if we actually listen to that track from Finishing Move, you can hear that there's a lot of high-end elements. Not that the mix has a lot of high-end, which it does, but there is a lot of high-end elements to this song. There's like this white noise that's being played in the background. There's a ton of things that are going on, a lot of textural elements that's filling in that high end of that frequency spectrum. And my song doesn't have that. I have one element in the high end there, and it's that kind of glitched out white noise effect. So even though I applied the EQ curve that I was able to grab from there, it still wasn't close enough because I was missing a lot of that high end relative to what my reference was. It also revealed that there's a lot of low end buildup that I had in my mix at the very least, or at least relative to the reference that I'm referencing. And it's becoming a problem, so they had to cut it. So this is actually something that I could go back on the producing side of things, maybe change out what sound I'm using for the kick drum or for the snare. I know for a fact that snare would be the main problem with this. That snare is really fat, and it thinned it out when I turned the plugin on. Brightened it up and made it sound a lot better. So if you enjoyed this, I have a free full session breakdown of one of my songs. I show you what tools I use and everything like that, and you even get the stems for free. Link to that will be down in the description below. And if you like these type of unedited style videos, let me know in a comment below if I should keep making videos like this. Otherwise, I'll stop doing it. I like really helping people and not these big flashy edits that we see on YouTube all the time. So if you enjoyed that, I'm sure you're going to enjoy that session breakdown, and let me know if you did enjoy this video with the comments down below. And of course, there's another video on my channel that you'll probably also like. And now, as always, go create.